So the RBI comes with a bulletin, and in March's bulletin there is an article of state economy in which it is talking about how food inflation is deterring the fall of inflation, or not food inflation, you can say the food price pressure. Okay, so food price pressure deterring the fall in inflation. Hence, this particular thing is in news, and this is exactly what we will be discussing today, that the food price pressure, there is a pressure on the food price, the upward pressure, because of which there is a deterrence because of this on what? On the fall in inflation. Now, why RBI is worried about that? Of course, because India now follows inflation targeting. We follow inflation targeting, meaning we have set a target for inflation. We have decided as to what should be the range of inflation, and what is that range of inflation target in India? That is 2 plus minus 4%, meaning 2 to 6%, right? So RBI in its bulletin says that the inflation now is falling down and it will reach the sweet spot of 4%. However, this reach of 4% is being stopped or hindered or challenged or deterred by the food price pressure. Correct? Now, what does this actually mean? In technical terms, to understand this is very much important. When RBI targets inflation, so RBI is doing what? Inflation targeting. Inflation targeting. Right. When RBI is targeting inflation, which inflation is it targeting? Is it CPI or WPI? It is CPI, that is Consumer Price Index. It does not target the WPI. What is WPI? WPI is Wholesale Price Index. Wholesale Price Index. Wholesale price index is the sustained increase in the prices of a basket of goods at the wholesale level. Whereas CPI, that is Consumer Price Index, is an increase in the price of a basket of goods and services at the consumer level. So RBI targets this, and in this RBI targets a specific inflation, that is the headline inflation. Now, what is headline inflation? Headline inflation is all encompassing, consisting of a basket of goods and services. Okay. So this is all encompassing, consisting of all the goods and services in the basket. So this is what is RBI is targeting, and RBI wants it to be reaching at around 4%, which is the sweet spot. But this headline inflation is not able to reach 4%. Why? Because of another kind of inflation. This headline inflation is not reaching because of the price pressure in food. Right. Now, let's understand the relation of headline inflation and food. So, headline inflation, as I said, it is all encompassing, consisting of all the goods and services, all the basket of goods and services. Then there is a core inflation. Core inflation is equals to headline inflation minus food inflation. So core inflation is that inflation which is equal to headline inflation minus food inflation. and we know the prices of food are having a upward pressure. That is why, since core inflation does not take into account food inflation, core inflation is actually going down. Core inflation is actually going down, meaning inflation on basket of goods and services excluding food and excluding energy. Core inflation does not include food and energy, minus food minus energy inflation. Okay, so our focus is on food. So core inflation, we clearly see it does not include food, as a result of which what is happening? Core inflation is coming down. But headline inflation is not coming down. Why? Because headline inflation is equal to what? Core inflation plus food inflation, okay, and also plus the energy inflation as well, but the focus here is food. So in headline inflation, what is happening? The core inflation is coming down, but the food inflation is still going up, and because of this they are either cancelling each other out, or the food inflation is becoming heavier and either slightly increasing it or not letting the entire headline inflation to come down. This is the situation which is going on in the Indian inflation scenario. Alright, so under food, RBI has given the details. They have told tomato, which were at a very high price, are now correcting themselves, as in the prices are now coming down. At the same time, so the prices of tomato is coming down, but at the same time, what is happening? The prices of onions and potatoes are going up. Also, the prices of pulses and cereals are also having an upward surge. So this is increasing, various other things are increasing, and tomato is just correcting. It had grown a lot, so it is falling down. So when you look at the overall net impact, the net impact is increased prices in the food. And since there is increased prices in the food, and food is a part of headline inflation, other things RBI says are coming down, but since food is going up, they are cancelling each other down, and that is why headline inflation is not able to reach the required sweet spot of 4% soon. It will take more time for us to reach here. Now, since this is the situation, what kind of policy will RBI adopt? Or rather, instead of RBI, let's say Monetary Policy Committee. So what type of policy will the MPC, Monetary Policy Committee, adopt? They would want to adopt a minimum risk policy. Minimum risk policy. What is minimum risk policy? A policy such that inflation remains low. They don't want to take much risk. How is minimum risk related to inflation being low? See, when you talk about minimum risk, you are talking about you don't want to take any risk of the prices going too high. That is the risk we are talking about. Hence, minimum risk policy would be related to inflation remaining at low levels. But at the same time, minimum risk policy, but with increased growth. We also want growth as well, right? So minimum risk policy with increased growth. Now, what will be minimum risk policy? What can the MPC do? The MPC may slightly increase the repo rate. Repo rate is the rate at which the RBI gives money to the banks, right? So MPC may increase that rate. If that rate increases, that means the banks will have to give higher rates to RBI. So they would want less money from the RBI. At the same time, when they are giving higher rates to the RBI, our loan interest rates will also increase. When our loan interest rates will increase, we will be willing to take less loans, wanting to take less loans, less investments, right? All those things may happen. Fine. So when we take less loans, basically we are demanding less. So from the market also, you know, if you're taking car loans, personal loans, you would want them to buy car. So the demand will increase. If demand increases, prices will further increase. So the RBI would, MPC would increase the repo rate. So it is costlier for banks to borrow money, and hence it is costlier for citizens to borrow money. Hence citizens would want, let's say, lesser things, and hence lesser demand in order to bring the inflation down. So MPC could come up with increase in repo rate. However, they cannot increase this repo rate too much. Why? Because you also need to have growth. If you increase too much, if you increase the repo rate by a high amount, then people who want to start business would also get loans at a costlier rate. And if you get loans at a costlier rate, less amount of people would be likely to start business. So RBI may increase the repo rate, but by a small amount. And this kind of policy would be a minimum risk policy with a focus on increased growth. At such time, you know, when RBI wants to have minimum risk policy, it needs to check the inflation, but at the same time they want some growth also. Generally, RBI keeps the repo rate unchanged. See, it's very clear. If there is high, let's say there is very high inflation, then RBI will increase the repo rate. If let's say there is very low inflation, the economy is slowed down, then the RBI would decrease the repo rate. Let's say when both the things are happening, then RBI may keep the repo rate unchanged. So RBI has sort of given us a hint that inflation is coming down, but still it is taking time. So we may go up with a minimum risk policy, but with an focus on increased growth. So it's more possible that in the coming quarter, the MPC may keep the repo rates unchanged.